My second tutorial in Dart, and in this tutorial I will be explaining you some important concepts that you need to know. It's a very simple but very important concept that you need to know before starting Dart programming language. Is the basic fundamentals that you need to know. The first thing is like, as you can see that this is a basic Dart program that I have written in my previous tutorial. So you know that the most important thing that you have to understand is like the Dart is pretty much a language which has this kind of Dart supports top level functions such as main. As you can see here, this is the main. So every other functions like print integer are all run after the main function. So this is kind of a top level function that executes first, and all the other functions has the second priority after the main. Okay, so this is the most important thing concept that you have to understand. So in our Flutter app development, so main is always starting at the first, so it's like a starting point of the application. Okay, and now there is also another concept about in Dart is about type inference. So type inference is like so although Dart is like kind of strongly typed programming language, right? So but there are the situations like like you see that in this situation, like I have not specified the type. So the value and the type of this variable is automatically detected by the value, the 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 about the by the value, and Dart will automatically detect the type. It's called type inference. So this is also you have to understand. So pretty much we really didn't specify the type. So this 42 is kind of a number, so it is automatically Dart is detecting that this number variable is of type int, right? Okay, so this is the second concept. So now some of the important concepts that you have to understand is Dart is starting from Dart version 2.12, 2.12. It supports null safety. So that means all the programming like the Dart programs that you write is pretty much null safe. That means you cannot pass a null here. So if you pass a null, the compiler is gonna give you an error, and it's going to say that the value null cannot be assigned to a parameter type int because int is not nullable. So it's not nullable actually. So if you really want to make it nullable, if you want to pass null to this function as a parameter, then you just need to put a question mark in front of the type. So now if you run the program, the compiler is not gonna give you the error, right? So this is kind of a null safety approach that you have to use in Dart. Okay, so another important concept, guys, that you have to know is like you can when you want to explicitly say that any type is allowed, use the type object. Okay, so you can also use a type object. So let's try to use the type object. My object equals to, let's take a object, create an instance of object, and let's pass the instance of a object, and let's run and let's see what it says. Okay, for example, I am still passing this one, so let's try. So you see the number is actually, you see, if you run it again, the number is actually, it's an instance of object. I mean, like, it's an instance row. So right now I'm passing the argument as object. As you can see, it's not a number actually. The I see the thing is this one. The thing is the instance of object. Okay, and the another interesting concept that you have to understand, guys, it's about in Java. Do you remember that, like, if you are a Java programmer, you remember that we have like keywords like public, private, protected. So in Dart you can also, you don't have that kind of concept, but you can actually declare a private variable, private, I can say my private variable. I can also actually need camel case. You can just do it by using an underscore, okay? And yeah, you can pretty much pass that. It's better like I copy and paste it. It's not object actually, now it's a int. Okay, the thing is 3, right? So yeah, you can pretty much, if you want to specify a private variable, then you just start it by the underscore and it becomes private. That's the concept, guys. That's the important concept that you have to understand. And Dart has both expression which have runtime values and statements which don't. Okay, expressions have a runtime values and statements don't. So there is also two important concepts like expression and statements. The difference is like expression has a values whereas statements don't. So conditional expressions have a values whereas if else statement doesn't, right? So for example, what I will explain you that conditional expression. Okay, this conditional expression actually has a value. So if I if a condition, this condition like one is less is okay, one is less than 2, this condition is verified, then you should say it's true, otherwise it's false. So this condition, this conditional expression has a value, so it will return some values, whereas var if it's like not a concept, it's like statement like if 1 is less than 1 is greater than 2, you do something and else you do something, right? But this is kind of a statement, so you don't return anything. This statement is not going to return anything, right? So this is the concept that you have to understand, guys. This if else statement is not going to return anything. Okay, yeah, only the conditional expression is gonna is smaller actually. And yes, finally we should, Dart tools report two kind of problems, warning and error. So what are these warnings? So if I say val x equals to, you see it's giving us the error, right? So Dart tools has report two kind of errors. That's error, one is error and another is a warning. So if one is an error, you don't have like Dart will stop, like the compiler will stop and it will not run and execute your program. So and it will give you a error information, right? So and there is a concept in which you can like for example warning, like for example if I put this exclamation mark here, it's gonna give you a warning, right? You see that line number 4, that is this one, it says that the exclamation mark will not have effect because the receiver can't be null. So this receiver is not a nullable type, okay, it's a non-nullable type, so it will only accept not null values. Okay, so that's my, it's this is useless. Okay, if I say this, but you can use this kind of concept, this exclamation mark in these situations, like for example when x sorry guys, x equals to nullable but not null int, then in this concept, like when you have a situation where the values is like nullable but not null int, then in this concept, in these situations, you can okay, let me make it a string. You see, it's nullable but not null int, right? In these situations, then you can provide, that means uh, if you know that the expression never evaluates to null, but Dart disagrees sometimes, you know, in situations like when your values is loaded by a server, and like you are sure that the value is not null, but Dart is sometimes disagrees with you, and you just need to specify this exclamation mark to that variable, to that value, so that if the value is null, then in this case it will throw an exception. Okay, so that's it, guys. So this is like a small concept, and also there are some concepts like this. There are small keywords that you have to understand, like for example, like yeah, all those are keywords, guys. Like I suggest you to go through all the keywords that will be useful for you, like cats, you know, try cats, you know, for, finally, final, class, you know, all those are keywords. Do, enum, you know, in, late, everything is a keyword. Void, as we used here, while. So all those are keywords. I used if, else, you know, everything is a keyword. So there are a lot of keywords I've been using here, right, as you can see here, also in my programming language, in this programming tutorial. So, and also avoid, try to avoid using the same keywords sometimes, like for example, words with superscript are limited. If you see number 3, await is limited, and reserved words related to asynchronous support, so you cannot use await and or yield as an identifier in any function body marked with async. And so you have to just be careful about these simple concepts. Sometimes some keywords can create conflict, so you cannot use it together, right? And that's it, guys. So if you like my videos, please consider subscribing it, and catch you up in the next tutorial.